afternoon. It's Saturday, June 18th, 2022, and I'm back with another twin flame reading. I'm Brittany. I'm a psychic and a healer. I'm a Taurus sun, Virgo rising, and Aquarius moon, an INTJ, a Gryffindor, and a Syrian and an Andromedan starseed. So with that being said, let's get into the reading. But first, remember I use for pronouns she for divine feminine and he for divine masculine. So first card out for divine feminine will be water magic. So I feel as though divine feminine is letting go of control. She's surrendering to divine because she knows now that she can't decide if she's ready. And she's realizing that the divine has a plan. I mean, she's always known it to an extent, but I think divine feminine is finally practicing that. I think she's also educating herself about self-knowledge. So I feel as though divine feminine is looking for divine guidance. She's looking for her inner wisdom. And I do feel as though divine feminine, there could be some entities around you. So I do think maybe a cleansing could do, like an ink cleanse, herbal bath, and all that. And I'm also seeing that divine feminine, I feel as though repressed emotions are coming up for you. And I feel as though there's a lot bubbling at the surface. And maybe in the past you were afraid of these emotions, but you're braver than you give yourself credit, divine feminine. So I think, of course, you just jump toward your freedom. Perhaps you have a fear of freedom, but that doesn't mean it's going to entrap you anymore. Divine feminine, remember, you are your own jailer, but you're also your own liberation. So I feel as though you should liberate yourself from these chains. And I'm also seeing that there's throat chakra activations going on. So I feel like divine feminine, you're still having trouble articulating how you feel. You know exactly how to feel, but you don't exactly know how to vocalize it. So I feel as though, these activations are very much helping you express yourself. So I feel as though divine feminine is actually worried about self-expression as well. And I do feel like she's diving into habits such as drawing, painting, sculpting, anything that brings out their inner creativity. And I'm also seeing that she's going through a cleansing as well. In a room, her sacral chakra. But I also see holy wound chakra. So I feel as though divine feminine, that you just have this abundance of energy. And I just think that you just need to channel it into creative pursuits. The next card is affirmations for growth. So divine feminine, you may have taken a break from your healing, but I think now is time for some self-reflection. I do feel as though you you're ready for a new beginning. You're eager to learn, and you're just. I also see that there's heart chakra activations going on. So I feel as though divine feminine, you're also becoming more attuned to your unconditional love for humanity, rather than you have so much unconditional love inside you. And as a divine feminine, your power, your superpower is unconditional love. You know how to change the world. I mean, you're ahead of your time. You're pioneers. And divine feminine is just like, I feel as though she's actually planting her seeds in her metaphorical garden. And this garden, I feel as though divine feminine is tending. So I feel as though divine feminine, you are your own project. You are the greatest project you have ever undertaken. Healing yourself will bring you one step closer to your authentic self. And I feel as though divine feminine is no longer resonating with any superficiality she has or anything materialistic. She just wants a simpler life. She wants a life where she doesn't have to cater to other people. She wants a life where she can be unapologetically herself. And I do feel as though divine feminine, you may feel the need to relocate. You also feel the need to start something anew. And maybe you're like giving yourself excuses like, I can't do it, so and so this, like the divine has everything you need, divine feminine. You don't exactly have to look elsewhere. Just consult your spirit guides. Your spirit guides will show you exactly what to do, divine feminine. And I feel for divine feminine, because I feel as though she's had a rough June. I do see that there's like emotions going up and down, fluctuating. So the next card is inspiration and courage. So I feel as though divine feminine is a little bit scared right now, a little bit anxious. She may be worried about. I'm seeing that some divine feminines are getting attacked by psychic attacks, black magic, any spell work. I do see again that she is still protected, and so right now we're in Saturn retrograde, and Saturn deals that karma tenfold. So I feel as though divine feminine, if you have enemies, I feel as though these enemies are going to get their karma pretty soon. So you just have to keep doing what the divine tells you because you're protected. Come on, I think maybe you need some reassurance that you are, but you really are. And I also feel as though I'm also seeing that meditation would help you with this inner storm. I feel as though maybe you've been a little bit negligent with your meditation, but I feel as though it's a time to go within divine feminine. It is time for you to shine your light and go to war for yourself, because again, this journey is about you. It's always has been. And I feel like your psychic powers are heightening too, and I feel as though you may be in a state of paranoia. I'm also seeing root chakra activations, so I feel as though divine feminine is also resisting change at the moment because there's like too much she's dealing with. She doesn't want to add more to the plate, and I feel as though the divine is like saying you are ready for this. It's just mind over matter. So I feel as though divine feminine, if you are very dedicated to your healing, then you will be rewarded in this Saturn retrograde. I feel as though rewards are coming in, and I'm also seeing that divine feminine might be a little bit starved from ideas. She doesn't exactly know where to begin. She has an idea of what she needs to accomplish, but she doesn't know how to achieve it. So I feel as though she's being a little bit timid right now. I do feel like maybe she maybe feel a little bit defeated after all this spell work and psychic attacks. But I feel as though divine feminine, you just got to get used to the fact that people are always going to want to tear you down. To i.e. have you know your place, silence you, blackmail you, do anything they can in order to have power over you. And no one has power over you, divine feminine. Don't ever let anybody tell you that they know what's best, because you are your own guru. You are your own advisor. You would know best what to do. So I feel as though some of you may be actually leaning toward readings obsessively at the moment, because not about your twin, but because of your life purpose. You don't exactly know where to go. I feel as though divine feminine. Next card is imagine any vision. So I feel as though you don't need to know the answers right now. You just have to channel that energy. You got to get that anger flowing. You got to direct it somewhere. All these emotions, they just need you to expel them. Because again, I feel like divine guidance is being blocked right now, divine feminine. And it also seeing higher heart chakra activations going on for divine feminine. Also DNA activation. So I feel as though divine feminine may be a little bit lethargic right now. I do feel like she's overly sensitive. I'm also seeing that maybe there could be some stomach aches going on. I'm also seeing I'm also feeling like maybe a lump in, headaches, and also a abnormally dry mouth. And I feel as though divine feminine, it's just, yeah, I know there's a lot that they're going through, but I feel as though July will be marginally better. But right now it's way too early to tell. I'm also seeing that divine feminine, this is a time where you're not a princess anymore. You're a queen. You're the empress, and you can rule your kingdom however you want, and no one's get to tell you what to do. That's one of the good things about being an adult. And I do feel as though divine feminine will not bow down to anybody she deems unworthy. She knows that she would not trade her freedom in for anything. So I feel as though Divine Feminine is marching to the beat of her own drum anyway. I feel as though she feels, yeah, she does feel confused. Yes, I do see that. But I also feel as though she sees that she's wealthy. I feel as though she's healing her poverty consciousness right now, and she's realizing that she's always abundant. That she doesn't need it. Yeah, Divine Feminine may be worried about finances, so she may be worried about actually making more money. She could be worried about getting another job, moving somewhere, but money is very much a primary focus for Divine Feminine right now. And the next card is Earth Magic. So I feel as though Divine Feminine, with all this anxiety, you should ground a lot more. I know that some of you may ground once a day, but probably twice or 3 times a day would actually help you. And I'm also feeling as though you may need to go out more. I feel as though maybe you're a little bit cooped up because of the depression. Some of you may have depression. Others of you just may be tired, have no energy. And I know because it's a scuba frequency, and also the planets right now. But I do feel as though you got the energy within you. You have the energy within you. I just feel like right now, Divine Feminine, is also time for rest and rejuvenation. So even if you do go outside, do know that you have to take time out for yourself, to accept yourself, to love yourself. And Charlene, can you turn that down on the street? Yeah. So what I am seeing for you, Divine Feminine, is that, wow, I do see that the light's here. So I feel as though Divine Feminine, your light is bright right now. I feel as though, it's a time for you to spread the seeds of consciousness. It is time for you to make your impact on the world. And the Divine is right behind you. Some of you may need to sage a little bit more. I do feel as though the energies, there's a lot of heavy energies around Divine Feminine, or heavy energies stressing and overwhelm her. I do feel as though, again, Divine Feminine, I'm also seeing the moon here, so I feel as though you may be having trouble sleeping. You could also be having trouble staying asleep. I'm also feeling as though you feel like all this angst, like you just don't know why you feel so uneasy. And I feel as though you sense changes coming around the corner. That's why. I feel as though you're acting more from the fear of the unknown. And that's a pretty rational human fear. But you can't exactly stop the unknown. So even if you try to control the outcome, it's not going to go in your favor. That's why you're detaching. Because you know by now what time it is. And the next card is Tears of Joys and Sadness. So I do feel like maybe Divine Feminine is shedding some tears. Even though she's supposed to detach from Divine Masculine, she does feel this pain. They're mirroring right now, heavily. And I also feel as though Divine Feminine is realizing that she's not going to pretend like she's okay. And maybe she's been trying to distract herself by engaging herself into work. But I feel like at the end of the day, she still is crying. And I feel as though Divine Feminine is healing. She's healing both her and the Divine Masculine. And I feel as though she's also reclaiming her independence. She's also reclaiming her sovereignty as well. And I do see a bunch of shadow work being done right now. She is no longer afraid of her own greatness. Divine Feminine embraces it. And I do feel like there's also anger here. So I feel like a lot of this anger comes from Divine Feminine being unable to stand up for herself, but now she can. So I feel like all these repressed emotions are very much dating back several years. All the times you haven't defended yourself, and I feel as though Divine Feminine, this is not exactly an easy time for you right now. But it is a wonderful time. It is a perfect time to heal. And wow. And I'm also seeing that Divine Feminine, you're also caring more about your appearance. I feel as though maybe you're concerned about beautifying. Seeing someone might dye their hair blonde. But I feel as though a darker blonde, a lighter blonde. I'm also seeing pink, purple, black. Well, just something new. I feel like Divine Feminine wants a new look. So I feel as though Divine Feminine is adopting a new look because she just wants to move the energy. And that's a good idea because I feel like someone might need a haircut as well. So or it's probably some new makeup. But I feel as though divine feminine, yeah, it's time to feel good. It's time to actually just take care of yourself. You don't always have to be healing. Does not always have to go in within and just do it in work. Sometimes the most healing thing you could do is just look after your appearance. Looking after your appearance goes a long way. And learn from life. So divine feminine, maybe you're like feeling hard pressed for time. Maybe you feel as though there's not enough time in your day to do what you have to, but you get the perfect amount of time. The only person who's putting limitations is yourself, and that's very harmful. And I'm also saying this is the time for you to you have the world at your fingertips. The world's at your feet. You can go wherever you like. You can learn whatever you want. And the only person who's holding yourself back is you. And I feel as though divine feminine, you have so many dreams and you are going to achieve them all. It's just you need to be practical about this. You need to be rational. And I feel as though some of you are like thinking that maybe you have to sacrifice your dreams right now for it to actually fit in a matrix. But I feel as though right now it's not the time to make this important decisions because we are in retrograde. And yeah, you can have the plans, but don't exactly act on it. Because I feel as though retrograde energy is so random and so out of control that one moment, yeah. And I'm also seeing that you can also you could be secluding yourself right now. And I feel as though divine feminine is not really in a dark night at all. I just feel like it's just more existential crisis and just asking yourself the hard questions, trying to figure out what resonates with her anymore. And I feel like a lot of old habits are dying for divine feminine anyhow. The second to last card would be connect with Gaia. So yeah, this is what I'm saying about divine feminine not exactly having enough time for the day for yourself. So yeah, just make that time out and just go on a walk. Go outside. Just do anything. And I know that some of you are like saying, well, it's summer. Well, it's summer where I am, and I know I should probably take the advice. But yeah, you don't have to like go out during the day. You can just go out and go out like when it's like super duper hot. You could just make time out early in the morning or probably early at night. It doesn't matter. And I'm also seeing that I'm also seeing Archers and Metatrons coming in. So I feel like Archers and Metatron is actually supplying the divine feminine and crown chakra activations. I feel as though the consciousness is expanding right now, and I think the ego is trying to resist. But this is a time for you to just go with the flow, divine feminine. And I'm also feeling as though you may be I do see that maybe your spirit animal could be a cat, but I feel as though you have to be just more march to the beat to your own drum. So yeah, divine feminine. And the last card is rebirth and rejuvenation. So yeah, maybe I feel like if you're an empath, you're connected to water. So if you haven't done a cleansing bath yet, then now is probably the time to do it. And I'm also seeing for divine feminine. I just hear bell, so that's confirmation. I feel as though these heavy energies around you are either entities. So yeah, entity clearance definitely one thing. Another thing that can happen is herbal baths. So I feel as though divine feminine needs to up her game when it comes to her spiritual hygiene. And I'm also seeing that maybe somebody just needs to be near water ASAP. And I'm also seeing dolphins here. So I've been seeing a lot of dolphins. So I feel like dolphins right now are a sign for divine feminine of the indication that this is time for you to reclaim your freedom. And this is time for you to just be yourself. To express your creativity. So yeah, that is what I'm getting for divine feminine. So next is divine masculine. The first card out is the Empress in reverse. So what I am getting for divine masculine is that he feels as though divine feminine is turned her back toward him. She's very cold and unresponsive. And he's wondering what the hell did he do wrong. And I feel as though divine masculine is like wondering where is divine feminine's unconditional love. It doesn't seem like she loves you as much as she thought. And I feel as though this divine masculine is very triggered right now. There's abandonment issues coming up. And these abandonment issues for divine masculine, I feel as though he's turning to addictions again to try to drown it out, but it's not working because I think at the end of the day he feels so empty. He feels there's this void here. He feels lost, like without divine feminine's love. I feel as though he's wondering why does he feel so bothered by this. It's not exactly they haven't talked in a while, because I feel as though these counterparts in separation that I'm channeling, and he's like saying, I feel as though he's still trying to get his mind off divine feminine, but divine feminine's always been on his mind. She's never left it. And I feel as though he feels like she has put some spell work on him. She has very much turned him inside down. He's made him feel right is wrong. And I'm also seeing that there's a toxic individual here. Could be a mother figure. The mother figure could be the mother herself, or probably a divine masculine does have a child with someone else. Or I feel as though they might see that this person, this karmic person, that they're unstable and they're not exactly who they say to be. This person has been trying to seduce. I feel as though this person has been trying to either manipulate them through means of seduction or through emotional blackmail. And I feel as though I do feel as though maybe a fight has happened, and I do feel as though there's like some sort of instability here. And I'm also seeing there's a snake here, so I feel as though divine masculine is still refusing to end this cycle. He feels as though if he pushes hard enough, then this person will heal. But it's not divine masculine's person to save this person. He has to strike out and go on his own and to follow divine feminine's lead. And I do see a shield here, so I feel as though the divine masculine is actually safeguarding his heart at the moment. He doesn't exactly want to show that he's vulnerable. He doesn't want to show the divine feminine that she, he feels as though she's a witch. He really does sometimes. But I do feel as though divine masculine is like saying, you know what? I just feel crazy. He's longing for divine feminine. The next card I see is the Fool. So what I am seeing for divine masculine is that this Fool energy, I feel as though he's being called to just see there's a snake, regeneration. So yeah, divine masculine is regenerating. He is shedding his old skin and resolving it, freeing himself of his old identity. And his old identity once resonated with him, but now he's like thinking, what exactly do I need to be now? So I feel like divine masculine is starting anew. He is starting to actually look at his belief systems, and he's analyzing them and discarding what no longer serves him. So I feel like this divine masculine is actually doing a little bit of work, but I do feel as though he may be still drawn to carnal pleasures. So he could still be sleeping around, or he could still be, wild. I do feel as though there's some promiscuity going here, like very much. And I also feel as though divine masculine is also trying to walk the high path, the high road. He's trying to. I feel as though he's trying to actually make himself better, but I feel as though there's also, I do see heart chakra activations. Even though he's trying to safeguard his heart is melting. The proverbial frozen heart is now thawing. And what I am seeing for that there's mountains here. So I feel as though divine masculine seeing his new beginning from a higher perspective. He's realizing that he doesn't exactly need to march forward in life with a cluttered mindset or a cluttered he's being called to declutter. And I'm also seeing that there's a I feel as though the ground beneath him is unstable. So I feel as though any foundations that he's holding on to are starting to fall away and slip from his grasp. There's nothing he could do in order to save this relationship he's being called to take care to discard. And the next card is the Two of Swords. But I do feel as though he wants to come in and tell divine feminine that he still cares about her, but he doesn't know exactly how to do that. because it feels like he's trapped. He feels as though he can't exactly make a move right now with the karmic breathing over his neck. I feel as though the karmic and him there's like some sort of argument going on. And I feel as though she's trying to actually get past the argument. The divine masculine is tired. He is tired of this codependency. He is tired of this stalkerish behavior, this violence, this superficiality, this materialism, and he doesn't want to be in a situation with a karmic anymore. But he feels something's keeping him there, either finances or a child. But I do feel as though divine masculine, it's not as even if they are sexual, I feel like divine masculine is not really immersed in the moment with the karmic. I feel as though divine masculine is just tolerating her. Yes, he despises her, but I feel as though this divine masculine is also saying that they're not compatible anymore. Even his sex can't outweigh the fact that he just wants to get the hell away from the karmic. And I do feel as though this trauma bond of theirs is going to break suddenly and unpredictably. So I feel as though even though they're trying to make things work out with the karmic, it's not going to work, because in the end they're going to split apart. And I do feel as though the divine feminine has pulled back your energy, because she knows that the divine masculine, it would rather live in ego than to live in a soul. And this divine masculine is still having some egotistical behaviors. He's refusing to make his decision about the connection with the divine feminine. He feels as though if he divine feminine will wait, but even if she's talking to someone else, he's confident that she would choose him over the supposed competition. So he's not really worried about it. But I feel as though this arrogance of his will be his undoing, because divine masculine has been very much taking advantage of divine feminine's unconditional love. And I feel as though this divine masculine will not fold easily. He has a lot more spiritual development to do before he can even dream of reconciling with the divine feminine. He has to realize that his behaviors are wrong. And the next card is the Sex of Chalices. But I feel as though they're doing some reflecting. They are just remembering the times they have with the divine feminine. They miss what the divine feminine represents to them, a lost part of themselves. Like with divine feminine, they feel the light, and they want to actually protect that light the divine feminine emits. I feel as though they're protecting the relationship with divine feminine at the moment, because he doesn't exactly know where to fit her. He knows that if he pays attention to this connection, then he has to make a permanent commitment, and he's not exactly ready for that yet. I do feel as though he also has to clean the skeleton in his closet. I feel as this divine master is being forced to look within and see that a lot of his egotistical behaviors are harmful and detrimental to himself. And I feel as though this divine master might actually, I do see a me here, so he could be a little bit vain and narcissistic. And he wonders if divine feminine still is sad over him. It seems like divine feminine is not exactly remembering the memories they had so tenderly. It seems like divine masculine thinks that divine feminine has moved on, and there's nothing there, that she's forgotten about him, and I think that's heartbreaking. And I feel as though divine masculine does I do feel as though maybe he is spending time away from the karmic. I feel as though he does anything, like if he works, I feel like he spends time more at work rather than the karmic, or probably helping other people as well. But I do feel as though this divine masculine does feel like divine feminine does get him, but at the same time, he doesn't like that she gets him either, because divine masculine likes to have some mystery. He likes to have some he likes to be an enigma, and to not be either of those in the eyes of the divine feminine, well, that's a little bit of an ego blow. No, very much an ego blow. That's even an understatement. Because this divine masculine loves to be unpredictable. He loves to be wild. He loves to be in a devil may care attitude. Very cavalier, so to say. And I feel like his facetious nature won't exactly be preserved for much longer. The next card I see is Four of Cups in reverse. So what I'm seeing for Divine Masculine is that I feel as though he is seeing that that Divine Feminine has other suitors. And I feel as though he's stalking Divine Feminine at the moment, trying to find more about these other suitors. And even if it doesn't seem like she's putting pictures of other suitors on her back, I feel as though he is also looking at the suitors' profiles. He's trying to figure out what exactly does he mean to Divine Feminine, what exactly is their connection with each other, and all that. And I'm also seeing that Divine Masculine is spying on them. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of spying going on. There's a lot of intel gathering. Even though he says that he doesn't care, he does care very much. Some part of him wants to know if Divine Feminine is happy so he can let go of her. But the other part wants to know if this is the horrible choice, that's the decision. He frowns on her choice of choosing a mate. He feels threatened. I feel as though he sees that this person is competition. And he doesn't exactly want to lose the Divine Feminine to the soulmate. And I feel as though, he's realizing that his situation is complicated. So all he can do, I feel as though all these thoughts he's having are consuming him. He's so angry at Divine Feminine just for finding someone else. But he's choosing not to do anything about it because he is tied up in another commitment. But I feel as if Divine Masculine is like saying, I hope she doesn't get married. I hope she doesn't have a child with this person. Because he's starting to realize that could be a possibility. But he's trying not to think about it because his ego can't handle it. So I feel as though that's why Divine Masculine is like a little bit of heavy energy right now. And he's in heavy energy because he's actually in the throes of his addictions. And the next card I see is Five of Swords. So I do feel as though the Divine Masculine is fantasizing about the Divine Feminine. I feel as though he likes the way she has a fiery temper, and she just has a sharp wit. It can be very her words can be sharp as knives though, and she knows exactly where to hurt Divine Masculine. And Divine Masculine is like saying, you know what, I would love anything just to have her just talk to me. He thinks it's so sexy that Divine Feminine just is so blunt and so outspoken, and he's always loved that about her. He's not exactly the type to like delicate little flowers. No, he doesn't like roses. He likes lilies. He likes something. He feels as though roses are too tender, but I feel as though I guess you can argue that the rose also has thorns, so it's not just a very pretty flower. But Divine Masculine is, I do feel as though there's arguments going on when it comes to family. The family still is pushing for him to marry the karmic. I feel like the karmic is also pushing him in marriage. But I feel like the Divine Masculine is refusing this because he doesn't exactly see the point of committing to someone that he doesn't love that deeply. So I feel as though he's just giving the bare minimum in this relationship. So yeah, I'm also saying that there's a vase here. So this vase, I feel like Divine Masculine is keeping a lot of secrets right now. And these secrets are very much going to be revealed to Divine Feminine anyhow. But the secret is that they just can't get over you. They don't exactly understand how you can have such a profound effect on them and don't even talk so much like he and the karmic. And he's wondering if this superficial connection he has with the karmic is going to he's wondering why he can't leave her. He feels as though that he feels bound to her. He feels like he messed up with Divine Feminine, so the karmic is very much, I feel like, again, this Divine Masculine is in conflict with himself. He's not exactly, I feel as though all this conflict is something that he has to work through himself. And I feel like that time is coming very fast. And the next card is the Nine of Swords. So I do see there's a lot of anxiety right now. A lot of a need to control himself. I feel like this divine masculine is trying to discipline himself and deny himself divine feminine because he feels as though he is not a good match for her. He also feels as though he doesn't want her to move on, right? But he doesn't exactly want her to be with him when he's like very so I feel like this divine masculine is trying to find some sort of rational answer to get the divine feminine, like, could you wait for me? But I feel as though divine feminine is not exactly in the building anymore. She's very much focused on a relationship with a soulmate. So this leads divine masculine to protect his heart. He said, what's the point of actually going to the divine feminine? She won't drop the soulmate for me. And she would just refuse me. And I feel like he feels very angry toward divine feminine for just giving up on them. Because he feels as though when the time is right, they will be together. But this divine masculine is still trying to control divine timing. And I'm also seeing a sword here. So I feel as though he needs to communicate. He needs to show divine feminine something else besides kissing and touching. Something that divine feminine wants something real. And divine masculine is still lacking integrity at the moment. He's not exactly being forthcoming with himself. He's trying to placate other people. But I feel as though this divine masculine will just be shown very briefly that he cannot placate others anymore, and that he has to put himself first. I feel as this divine masculine is also in a tower at the moment, and this tower is very much shaking his foundation. His foundations, his sense of self, his identity, and I feel like he's resisting the tower as well. But I do feel as though he will plunge back into another dark night of his soul. And even if he's already in a dark night of his soul, I think he's still trying to fight the tower. He doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to be in a spot where he is being rejected by divine feminine. So I feel like, again, the next card is the Chariot. So what I'm seeing for divine masculine is, yeah, he's being called to actually move forward. He's being called to actually, the divine is like saying, it's time for you to move toward divine feminine. It's time for you to cut this relationship. And the more divine masculine resists, the more towers he will have. And the more that things will get worse in his life until he goes back to the person he truly loves. I feel like this divine masculine is pretending like he has no love for the divine feminine. He's trying to fool divine feminine and say, you don't know me as well as you think. I've changed. And even though in some places divine masculine has changed, in other places he remains the same. So I feel like divine feminine is like saying, you know what, I'm not going to wait for you anymore. I have my own life to live, and I've given you enough time. It's time for you to be a man or to leave me be. And I'm also saying for divine masculine that I feel as though he was very, very protective over the divine feminine. He feels as though divine feminine's life is unstable. And he feels as though he has to protect divine feminine from the evil people. From people who mean to do her harm. I feel like he's also protecting her from the karmic as well. I feel as though the karmic actually has much to say about the divine feminine. And the divine masculine he's realized that it's getting harder to protect the relationship without the karmic actually figuring out where his true allegiances lie. And divine masculine didn't want to take sides, but I feel like he's at a point where he has to either take the karmic side or the divine feminine's. And he's trying to think that if he's loyal to the karmic physically, he could keep his loyalty to the divine feminine in secret. But that's not exactly how it's going to work. This divine masculine is having his cake, he needed it too. And the second to last card is Six of Pentacles. So I do feel as though this divine masculine is being shown. He's being shown that there's a lot of, there is a lot that's going on for divine masculine. And what's going on for divine masculine is that his own overthinking is getting he's overthinking. I feel like he's drinking. He could be smoking. But again, addictions. And I do feel as though there's sacral chakra activations going on for divine masculine. So he's getting in touch with his femininity. He's no longer going to be hiding his emotions. He has to do the healing. And I feel as though it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before this divine masculine realizes that the only way out is through, and not to actually wait for things to over. He needs to be proactive. He needs to be a go-getter. He needs to be assertive. He can no longer have the karmic walk over him and try to seduce them or hit him. I feel as though, or argue with them. I feel as though he wants to lead the karmic though, but he doesn't know exactly how to achieve that. He's afraid. He feels as though, this divine masculine has been broken down by narcissistic abuse. The karmic is a narcissist. And the last card will be Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel as though it is this divine masculine wants to actually sweep the divine feminine off his feet and take her up to the kingdom. But he knows he has to be authentic. He knows he has to come at her right. He can't exactly leave things unsaid. So, that is what I'm getting for divine masculine. So let's see what's going on with the connection. The first card I came is a fiery climax approaches. So this is self-evident, self-explanatory even. I feel as though the divine masculine and divine feminine are actually together in unison, are ending cycles. For divine masculine, it's karma. For divine feminine, it is like cycles that she once resonated with. But I feel as though both of them are just changing for the better. I feel as though there's a fire lit underneath them, and they feel this need to be proactive and assertive. So I also feel as though they're also going to tackle their everything head on now. They're not going to be dismissive. They're not going to be passive. They're going to just go with the flow. They realize that the divine has brought them together for a reason, but they still don't know exactly why that reason is. But I feel as though they're holding each other dear at the moment. I feel as though they're both wanting each other. They're both desiring each other. I feel as though there could be a lot of 5D sex going on at the moment. And I feel as though this 5D sex for divine masculine and divine feminine is actually clearing any and all reptilian attachments. Because I feel as though there's like a lot of entities. So I feel as though 5D sex is actually very common. I mean, it's becoming more and more common. I feel as though there's a lot of like sexual energy being exchanged between the twins. And the next card is emotions are running high. So I feel as though both the divine masculine and divine feminine are very emotional. They're like very much on. It's just this purging is purging on steroids. So I do feel like there's going to be a lot of purging from both ends. And what I mean by that is that divine masculine needs to see things clearly and divine feminine needs to lead. So I feel as though both of them are just going into their roles. So I feel like divine feminine is going to start leading again. She had to take a break because it was divinely orchestrated. But now I feel like divine feminine is now jumping into the chariot and grabbing those ropes and riding hard. She's trusting in the divine. And I feel as though divine feminine's ego is also going through an ego death as well, as is divine masculine. So it's like a slow but carefully engineered ego death by the divine. And I'm also seeing black hair. So I do feel like there's a lot of death that is happening in, like a lot of before rebirth, death has to happen. So I feel as though divine feminine is rising from the ashes like a phoenix, as is divine masculine. And the next card I see is adjustments are required. So I feel like the divine is telling you to go with the flow, to just trust in the divine, to trust in the divine plan, even though you don't exactly see how the dots connected. There is a reason behind this. You guys have decided before you came here that this is going to happen in this way, so you just have to trust in the divine. And I do feel as though for divine masculine, he has to trust too. He has to stop trying to control the situation and just go with the flow. So I feel like again, there's also a tree here. So I feel as though divine feminine and divine masculine are being helped by the ancestors. There is some ancestral trauma that is being purged, and I feel as though it's very much has to do with the female line, the females in the family. So I feel like there's like some sort of subjugation of women. So I feel like that's being purged as well. And what I'm also seeing is that, yeah, the moon, I feel like the moon is phases or, yeah, third quarter moon. So I feel like there's a lot of, revelations being happened. I feel like that there's divine guidance coming in. Old beliefs that they've had are being shattered so they can grow. So I feel like there's a lot of growth that is happening at the moment. And the third to last card, conclusions are with reach. So yeah, answers are in store. Answers are coming. So you're going to know when to complete the cycle what exactly you're going to do next, divine feminine or divine masculine. Yes, you don't exactly know how to get rid of so-and-so situation, but again, this is why you consult the divine. The divine will show you exactly what needs to be done. And I also feel as though you have to, you are your own North Star, so you don't exactly, you hold a compass, you will know exactly what to do when the time comes. So, yeah. Work through your fears. So yeah, that's also self-explanatory too. Yes, you have a lot of anxiety. You have a lot of uncertainty. But this is where these emotions are not supposed to bring you discomfort. This discomfort is so you can move out of your stagnancy and reclaim your personal power. And I'm also seeing that there's third eye activations going on simultaneously. So I feel like truths are being revealed, illusions are being shattered, and I feel as though the stormy moon had a lot to do with it. And I'm also seeing that there's also a rebirth in the connection that's happening. And it doesn't exactly seem like it right now, but it seems like the two counterparts couldn't be any further apart. But they're very close to reunion, I'm hearing. Very, very close. But I'm not exactly getting time for Mets to win. And the last card is your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Gemini. You're good. You may feel as though there's no that there's more you need to do, but in fact, you're in the ideal circumstances. You have to be the magician. You have to manifest the way forward. You have that within you. You have the tools you need, and you just have to trust in yourself. And I feel like both of you are going to go forward and learn how to approach situations and problems with more confidence. So yeah, and let's see what's going on with the message cards. I left when I saw you with someone. I don't react when people mention you. You and I were too young. I hide behind material things. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. I bury myself in work to forget you. I feel you even though we are apart. I wish I could take back my words. We will be together again. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you another time. Namaste.